Why do some women lie about paternity? Let's talk about it. Today, I want to discuss why I believe women who lie about paternity lie about paternity. And it comes down to one simple reason why women who do this do it, and it's resources. And the number one resource is money. And normally, women of lower economic status, from my experience, um, they normally tend to attribute paternity to a biological father if she's had more than one partner. And look, before I continue any further, this can happen. There's a number of different scenarios, so I don't want to paint a picture as if it's just one blanket scenario. But in the majority of the scenarios that I've come across, these females have engaged with more than one man, and most of the time, the man with the least amount of resources and finances is the one who impregnates the mother, and then the guy with more resources and finances ends up being deemed the biological father. Now, I want to make a distinction here as well too, which is also very important, because I know some people may think I'm trying to paint a broad brush, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to bring and shed a light on why certain females attribute paternity to a man that should not be deemed the father of the child, and he ends up having to pay, and you end up destroying his life because of something selfish that the young lady did. And it's selfish on a number of different levels, if you ask me personally. It's important for me to make this distinction just for clarity. I just want to make sure that I'm not painting a broad brush here. It's important to make this distinction, and the distinction is between a female who intentionally commits paternity fraud versus the female who may have had more than one partner in the same time frame, and then she's confused or uncertain. I ain't gonna say confused, but she's uncertain on who is the actual biological father of the child. And it's important to make this distinction because I am of the mindset that any female who intentionally commits paternity fraud is has a malicious intent, and not only towards the man that is not the biological father of the child, but also towards the child. And why I say that is, and this is something that I don't believe a lot of females actually take into consideration when they attribute uh, paternity to a man because he has more resources that can help benefit them and their child. They're only looking at it from a one narrow perspective. Okay, I just want to be taken care of financially, or you try to have the best situation laid out for yourself. But there's still an issue that many of these females, I don't believe they think about, is in the event that child has some kind of genetic disorder that may be the father of the child, the true father, the biological father of the child, can be able to help this child. You have now put the child at risk. And I can tell you this for a fact because I used to do lectures at University Hospital here in New Jersey. And I remember having a conversation with one of the staff there. And he told me something that was really fascinating to me, and most people aren't aware of, at least here in New Jersey area. He said to me that University Hospital at the time. I don't know what their status is now, but at the time, he was stating that they were one of the best institutions in terms of bone marrow and blood transfusions here, I guess in the country or maybe the state. I can't recall which of the two, but they were considered high on the list. Then he began to tell me that a lot of times many children come in and they need bone marrows and blood transfusions. And when they run the test on men who are believed to be the biological father, they're coming to find out that the blood types don't match. And now you have a situation where the child is in danger of losing his or her life. Then the father finds out that the child is not even his in his time of need after he's done, developed, and built the bond. I believe that to be extremely vicious. You put your child in danger, that's not the best interest of the child. So it's important that we think about our decisions and the long-standing ramifications. Now, sometimes, I guess certain females are lucky and fortunate that they are able to put forth, let me say, they're fortunate that they don't get, found out about and nothing happens and the child is well-to-do and things to that nature. And that's a good thing in that instance in terms of the health of the child. But it's still not a good thing to attribute paternity to a man if he's not the biological father of the child, without at least giving that man the option to see if that's what he wants to do. So it's really a vicious and malicious thing that is perpetrated amongst the man and the child. And I think we just need to think. What I would like to see moving into the future is that these females make much more sound decisions for the best interest of the child, because you just can't look at the finances. You also have to look at the health of the child and really think close, long and hard, because you never know what can happen when you have a young child and the child ends up needing blood and your secret gets found out. It's embarrassing, and it can actually be seriously damaging to a child's life on all fronts, especially if the child is able to survive. They won't be able to forgive that. You know what I mean? And as mothers, the attachment that mothers have to their children, could you imagine your child finds out that you lied to them and then they're an adult? I've seen that happen a whole lot as well, too. And I'm going to put out some videos talking about, these kinds of relationships in the near future. So please subscribe to the channel and get the latest updates when I put these videos out regarding this particular topic, or these topics on relationships and paternity testing and things to that nature. So I just want to say this in closing. Let's make better decisions. Not only I'm addressing the females in this video, but the males also need to make better decisions when we're engaging each other out here in real time, because the ones who are suffering are the children. And this video is more about the best interest of the child. More than anything else, I'm about the best interest of the child. And if we're going to do right by the children, as many people like to claim they want to do by, then let's start with our mating and breeding practices and try to do that responsibly. I'm going to leave it here. Until next time, please take care. And also, before I forget, check the links in the description. I have my my book if you are interested in paternity and you want to know everything about paternity and the paternity testing process on all fronts. You can check out the link in the description. You can also visit the website you'renotthefather.com. And I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. And as always, until next time, please take care.